What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Thursday, February 6th edition of the NBA Injury Report video. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoney DFS. And we have a 6-game NBA slate tonight. It is the trade deadline, so we do still have some stuff up in the air, some changing pieces, guys going from team to team that we don't know about yet. So keep an eye on that kind of stuff. But I'm going to walk through the injury report as it looks at 2:30 p.m. I waited a little bit longer than usual because there or teams on back-to-backs that haven't released injury reports. There are still a couple, but I wanted to get as much info as I could. So going to walk through this. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment if you find it helpful, all that kind of stuff. But starting here at the top, we have Anthony Davis questionable for the Mavs. PJ Washington is still out. So if Davis is out, you're getting pretty much status quo from what we saw last game. The big takeaway here, in my opinion, is Daniel Gafford. If Davis is in, there's a good chance that Daniel Gafford is still playing, useful, meaningful minutes. You don't have Derek Lively. Maxi Kleber is not on the team anymore. Anthony Davis is going to play the bulk of his minutes at the 4. But there is a good chance that the closing lineup ends up not including Daniel Gafford and that you get Anthony Davis closing at the 5. That has already been stated, I believe, is the plan for the Mavs long term. Don't know if that's the case without PJ Washington, but you could still get a closing lineup that has something like Kyrie, Christie, Clay, somebody else, and then Davis at the 5, another wing and then Davis at the 5. So I don't know, Najee Marshall would be my guess. So I don't know if they'll go that route or not. But if Davis is out, obviously they're not going that route. And even though Daniel Gafford was disappointing from a DFS standpoint in that last game against Philly, he played 33 minutes and change in a game where he was in foul trouble in the first half with 3 fouls, and he left the game early with an injury in the fourth quarter. He still got the 33 and a half minutes. If Davis is out here, you once again have Daniel Gafford playing with no Davis, with no PJ Washington, with no Kleber, with no Derek Lively, with no backup center on this team, really, other than Kyler Kelly active. So no Dwight Powell. So that is a big piece, I think, where Gafford might get slept on a little bit if Davis is out from a playing time standpoint. I think he plays a ton if Anthony Davis misses this game. On the other side for the Celtics, Drew Holiday is questionable. If he is out, you just get, what we've seen a bunch of times this year when pretty much anybody is out for the Celtics. Derek White's playing time will look better if Drew Holiday is out. Peyton Pritchard's playing time looks better. Sam Hauser would play a bit more off the bench. Horford plays more. You probably get Horford in the starting lineup, getting a starting lineup in that case of White, Brown, Tatum, Horford, Porzingis. So I would expect the biggest bumps to be to a combination of Al Horford, Derek White, and Peyton Pritchard if Drew Holiday misses this one. For the Rockets, nobody there is questionable. Nobody questionable for Minnesota. For Orlando, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Gary Harris are questionable. Jalen Suggs is doubtful. We had Cole Anthony start the last game in place of Jalen Suggs. Anthony Black moved to the bench. If Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is out, I think there's a good chance that Black moves into the starting lineup, but also I don't know that they'll really want to play him alongside Cole Anthony that much. So you could see Tristan Da Silva back in the starting lineup. You could see Trevelin Queen, like we've seen them go that route. I don't know who would start if KCP is out. What I do know is that it would open up like 31 minutes or so in the rotation. So you would probably expect more playing time from Cole Anthony. You would expect more playing time one way or the other from Anthony Black, probably from Tristan Da Silva. So not necessarily one guy that becomes great if KCP is out, kind of depending on who ends up starting in his place. But you would expect more playing time to a bunch of different guys. Gary Harris, if he's out, you probably just get those minutes mostly replaced or soaked up by like Trevelin Queen or Jet Houston, guys like that off the bench that don't really matter. For the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray are questionable. This has the potential to be really, really important because Peyton Watson and Russell Westbrook are already out. Last night, we did see Denver go a little bit deeper into their rotation, mostly in that they played DeAndre Jordan as the backup center. In previous games, he had not been in the rotation, so you had seen even more minutes for the starters than you saw last night. They still played a lot, but if you take Aaron Gordon out, the last game he missed, you had Zeke Naji start in his place and play like 31 minutes. If you take Jamal Murray out, you are probably getting Jalen Pickett in the starting lineup. Pickett's been the direct backup to Murray so far. You obviously don't have Westbrook, and Christian Brown's already in the starting lineup. So I assume they would go Pickett. I obviously don't know for sure, but that would open up value in Pickett. Julian Strawther would probably play more minutes if one or both of these guys are out. You're just really short on rotation bodies here for Denver. You probably also get Hunter Tyson in the rotation if one or both of these guys are out. He was sort of in the rotation last night anyway, playing like 10 minutes, including garbage time. But also, Michael Porter Jr. probably playing a ton of minutes regardless. Even safer bet to make if either of these guys are out. Same goes for Christian Brown. Only played 29 minutes last night. Did have a little bit of a weird rotation in the second half after playing 17 first half minutes. On average, if these guys are in, I would expect that you're getting something like 33 or 34 minutes from Christian Brown. If you take one or both of them out, I think that probably pushes closer to like 38, 39, 40 up in that range. So there is the potential for a lot of value to open up here with Denver. We do not have a Golden State injury report yet. This one has the potential to be an absolute nightmare. They're already shorthanded because of yesterday's trade with Miami. And then now you do have a back-to-back. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, who knows if they're going to end up playing. Golden State does have plenty of bodies still somehow. This team just always feels like they somehow have a roster of like 25. But definitely a spot that we just need more information. But it is something that you'll want to be paying attention to as we get that information. For the Lakers, nobody is questionable here. They are obviously a little bit more shorthanded now too. They traded Dalton Connect last night. They traded Cam Reddish. So those guys aren't there. Nobody on the injury report for the Blazers that matters. We don't have a Kings injury report yet on the back-to-back, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. And then for the Pacers, we have Q tags on Ray J. Dennis, Enrique Freeman, Quentin Jackson. None of those guys matter. None of them are in the rotation. And we have nobody on the injury report for the Clippers, although they did just trade Terrence Mann and Bones Highland. Shouldn't have too much of an impact on much of anything, but those guys are no longer on the Clippers. So that's a quick run through of the injury report. Not a whole lot to talk about today. As a reminder, don't forget to check out Run the Sims for the Super Bowl. Free Showdown Sims tool, customizable inputs that automatically update your projections. You can do a bunch of different things, try out a bunch of different ways that the game could go, see what lineups do best in big Chiefs wins, big Eagles wins, whatever you want to do. You can do all of that very easily for free and then play the lineups that project to make you the most money. So check that out. And if you do want to sign up ahead of time for our NFL product over there, you can sign up now using promo code ENDGAME. It gets you 10% off and you are locked in for life to that price. It will not change even as we add stuff to the site, increase prices potentially, in the future. You will be locked into that 10% discount off the current price. So go ahead, do that. And don't forget to use the tool for the Super Bowl. Other than that, that is everything I have for this video. Thanks for checking it out. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and have a good rest of your afternoon.